वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्यस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 29, verse number 2. So in the previous verse, we read that how Sri Krishna, he saw the beauty of Vrindavan, and evening time, he saw the Ratris, Vikshata Ratri, and then he desired to ravish his pastimes in the gopis. So before that, we studied the different pastimes, Brahma Mohan Leela, and then his Abhishek by Indra, also his worship by Varuna, also the Brahmanas who understood he is. So this was all preparation to come to this point of Ras Leela. Means he has been established as Bhagavan, because it is very important to understand these two words in the first sloka, Bhagavan and Yogamaya. Bhagavana Pitaratri, Saradutfalla Mallika Viksharantum Manaschakre Yogamayam Upashrita. So these two words are the sutras to understand the Ras Leela chapters. Otherwise people get confused, bewildered, misinterpret, misunderstand. So they have to be kept in mind. And therefore, when it is said here that Bhagavan api taratri, that even Bhagavan, so he has been established, Bhagavan, directly and indirectly, both ways, through the prayers. If you read the prayers of the Devas to the Garbha, the womb of Devaki, when he was in the womb, also the prayers of Devaki herself, prayers of Brahma, Varuna. So it is very clear in the way he subdued everybody. So it is very clear that he is the Supreme Person, he is Bhagavan, he is Swayam Bhagavan. And therefore he is beyond any material desires, material contamination or influence of Maya. So whatever he is doing is for the sake of his devotees. That's what we have read earlier in Paramatma Sandarbha, that all his pastimes are for his devotees, even the creation. Although he relishes, because he is without devotees, he has nothing. He says, I don't want to exist without my devotees. So therefore, as we know that Uttama Bhakti means Anukullena Krishna Anusilanam, and he is Bhagavan Bhaktiman, he is also Bhakta of his Bhaktas. So just as Uttama Bhakti is called Anukullena Krishna Anusilanam, from his point of view, it is Anukullena Bhakta Anusilanam. So, and he is the source of bhakti, so he knows it best and he practices best with his devotees. So therefore he says that Naham Atmanam Asase, that I do not desire myself, Mad Bhakta Irvana, that without my devotees I don't want to exist. Just like devotees don't want to exist without him. So the life of devotee is Bhagavan and life of Bhagavan is devotee. They are entrenched with each other, and this is the real pleasure of life. In the material world, people unsuccessfully try this kind of relationship. Everybody is trying this relationship to find one person with whom you can actually relate with love, with complete open heart. But it's very rare. Doesn't happen, especially now with technology. Relations are more fragile and shallow. So Sri Krishna is showing that ultimately you can have this relationship with him only because with him we have a natural relationship. Here we have to establish a relationship. We don't have a relationship here with anybody. Before you are born, you are not having a relationship with anybody. Those whom you think are your friends, relatives, your kith and kin, you don't have any relationship with them. So with parents, your relationship started when you were born, and anything which starts has an end. Jatasya hi dhruvam mritu. Anything has a beginning, has an end. So therefore, these relationships are temporary. But with Sri Krishna, our relationship is permanent. We don't have to establish it, it is there. Mama evansa jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. He himself says, Sarvaschaham hridaya sannivishta. There is no one else who is in your heart. You are trying to put somebody else in your heart unnecessarily and unsuccessfully. But one who is already there and with whom you already have a relationship, why not recognize that? and then you see how your life will bloom. Otherwise, you are in a gloom and doom. So everybody experiences it, but people are so attached to their gloom that they don't want to give it. This is the paradox of human life. Krishna is open here, and as we said that he made the night as the one kalpa night, and he had Shatkoti gopis, means he has no limit. Shatkoti means unlimited, although it is a number, 1 billion, but it actually means unlimited. He can accommodate unlimited because he is Ananta, he is unlimited himself, and he is imperishable. So everything with him is unlimited and permanent. And everything else with anyone else, whether living, non-living, human beings, pets, material objects, they are all limited and perishable. So it's very simple mathematics, simple logic, doesn't need any big complicated brain. Become Bhakta of Krishna. So he is calling everybody, he's playing the flute, as you will read that. So, Kalau Jagau Manoharam, he will play Jagau Kalam Vam Nrisham Manoharam. He plays the flute through which he sends love. Manoharam, because what is Manohar? This is that which enchants your heart. And the only one thing which really, truly enchants our heart is love. Anything which is enchanting to you is lovely. If it is not lovely, then you are not attracted to that. So the real love is this kalam. So this is the Ras Leela. In Sanskrit, there is a thing that Ralyor, Dalyor, Akyam. R and L are exchanged, right? Like Raghu and Laghu. Laghu is called Raghu, Raghu is called Laghu. Raghava is Laghava. And Dalyo also, Da, La, Ra, they are exchangeable. So Rasa is what in the West is called dance. Just words are exported, they get changed, and it's export quality. Export quality. So people like to dance, right? So this is the original dance. There is also Lasa, Lasya. So when it is inside, it is Rasa. Rasa is inside, right? When it is outside, it is dance. So now he is going to manifest this outside. So Bhagavan api taratri saradotfalla mallika viksharantum manaschakre yogmayam upashyata.
Viksharam or Vikshyan?
Vikshya. After seeing. So then, he was obviously in the evening, he was not in the forest, he was in Vraj, he was in Nandgaon. So from there he escaped. He saw the night, because Ras Leela happened in a place called Rasa-līlā. It exists, that's why it has the name Rasa-līlā. So he has to go away from there. He was originally, in the evening he came back after tending the cows. He ate, had his dinner, everything. So it was full moon night. The moon is coming up, and then he decides to move from there. So this is the sloka here. Tadodurajah kakubha karairmukham prachya vilimpan narunen shantamaihi sacharshani udagachucho mrijan priyah priyaya iva dirghadarshanah. So at that time, Uduraj means the king of the stars. So just like moon comes and there's millions of stars. Like that Krishna is, and there are millions of gopis. So as moon shines, Krishna was like that. So Kakubha Karair Mukham Prachya Vilampan Arunen Shantamai. So Uduraja, he appeared in the east direction. And this is all Sahityik description. So it was as if he was smearing the eastern direction, the face of the eastern direction, with his calm, peaceful rays. So the moon, because moon is rising in the east, and when it rises it has that reddish hue. It's called Arun color, pinkish reddish. And then its rays, the rays are also called Kara. Kara means hand. Kara is also means the rays. It's like the sun is called Divakar or Dinakara. Dina means day, Diva means day, means who makes the day with his rays. Of course there the Kara means one who makes it. But Kara also means the hand, because it is with hands that you do work. So that's why they are called Kara. So Kara also means here the ray. That's from the Kri Dhatu Vikirana, because they spread out. That's why they are called Kara. So Karair Mukham Prachya Vilimpan Arunaina Shantamai. So it was as if the eastern direction is a female, and he was smearing the face of this eastern direction with the reddish color. Like they play the color festival here, the Holi, and you smear the face in reddish color. So like that. So he did that. Sacharshani Nam Udgat Chucho Mrijan Priya Priyaya Iva Digha Darshana. So he appeared in the sky while removing the distress of people, because in the daytime the sun, it's still hot in the month of Ashwin. So Charshani Nam means Jana Nam, people. Udgat Shucho Mrijan, while removing, dispelling their distress, because the sun's rays are hot and moon's rays are cooling. So with the cooling rays, and Priya Priyaya Iva Dirgha Darshana. So he appeared just like when a lover returns home after a long time. So Priya Priyaya Iva Dirgha Darshana, as if he was not there for a long time, because the Purnima comes once in a month. And all the moon is coming on the other day, not the full moon. So full moon has a special name, it is called Raka. You have heard this name, Rakesh? Rakesh means the Lord of this full moon night. Raka Sanyavali Kohu Garamavasya. So he is the Rakesh, so he Dirgha Darshana, he came after some time. So that's how he appeared. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti comments, Tadeva Uddipana Anantaram cha Pradurbabhuva. So the first sloka we already discussed how the Vrindavan, because there was a talk of Desha, Kala and Patra, the place and time and people. So the time and the place, they all acted as Uddipan Vibhavas, excitants. So when you want to do something, then there are certain things which make you enthusiastic. So if he wants to dance, then good atmosphere, good time, good weather, all this is helpful. So this is called Uddipan, means it increases your desire, it excites you to do that, makes you enthusiastic. So earlier the Uddipan Vibhava was in the form of Saradutfallu Mallika, the nights and the flowers and the nice Vrindavan. Now it describes another one, the moon. So Uddipana Anantaram cha Pradurbhavu, another exciting object appeared, and that is the moon. Tada Udurajas Chandra Udgata. So at that time the moon appeared. Kinchana kevalam ayam uddipana eva apitu gopa stri ramanasya tasya pramani bhuta ityaha kakubhati. And not only that he appeared just to excite him, but he also appeared there to authenticate his love dance, his love affair with the gopis. Means authenticate means to say that what you are doing is very good, and to indicate that he himself was smearing the face of eastern direction with red color. So he said, just as I am doing this, you do that to the gopis. That is the meaning of authenticating it or approving it, putting a stamp on it, basically, that this is authorized. Kakubhaviti. Dirghakalena darshanam yasya sapriyo ramanah priyaya swaramanya mukham arunena kunkumena swakaradhritena yatha vilampyati tatha prachya kakubhodusha mukha shantame suktamahi karai kirnair bhutena arunena udaragena limpana aruni kurvan ityartha. So he says, just as if the husband or the lover who comes after a long time to home, then he meets his wife or beloved and then with his own hands applies kumkum. So swakardhritena. So kumkum is also that which is applied in the parting of the hair of the ladies. Married women apply that is kumkum. So the husband applies that also to the wife. So that is also the meaning of it, that arunena kumkumena swakardhritena. So he was holding it in his own hand, because this is, the rays are like his hands and they are coming down. So tatha prachyaha kukubhodusha mukham santami. And these rays are very peaceful, very calm, very pleasing. Karai karnai dhritena arunena uday ragena. So this raga of his appearing, limpan, aruni kurvan, as if smearing in that. So charshani nam. So what does the word charshani means here? So charshani here means the people, because charshani, there is a group of people as described here. Saprasiddha eva charshani nam aryamanam matrika patani tayos charshaneha sutta yatra vai manushi jati brahmana parikalpita. So Aryama had his wife Matrika, and from there appeared set of people who are called Charshani. So then Brahma said that they will be the human beings. They were given the category of human beings by Brahma. Sashtokte manus jati nam sucha santapan mrijan. So the meaning here therefore is that when moon appeared, then he took away the distress, their suffering of human beings. Apnayan. Ayam artha. So this is the implied meaning here. This was a simple meaning, now he gives the implied meaning. And the implied meaning is that Krishnasya svakuladi purushaha sa puratano api dvijarajo api ramanarham bahutara swastri manapi pratyadisha indra bharyatvat parastriyo mukham svakarai sprishati sprishaneva swayam tasyam anurakta तामपि अनुरागवतीं करोति यदि तदा कृष्णस्य तद्वंश्यस्य नवीनवयसो गोपजातेरलब्धविवाहत्वात् स्वीयस्त्रीरहितस्य अथ च स्वसौन्दर्येण मानुषी जातिरानन्दयतो गोपी स्त्रीरमणिका खलु दोष इति. So the meaning is this, that moon also has a moon dynasty, Chandravamsa. Krishna was born in Chandravamsa, in the moon dynasty, because moon had a son, his name was Buddha, from the wife of Brihaspati, right, Tara. And Buddha had son Pururava from Ila. Ila is the one who was 1 month female, 1 month male. And from there came the dynasty of Kshatriyas. Yayati appeared in that dynasty, I think grandson of Pururava. And Yayati's son was Yadu. And Yadu's dynasty came Krishna, therefore he is called Yadava or Yadvendra. So moon is the originator of Krishna's dynasty. So Krishna is Chandravamsi, or born or appeared in the moon dynasty. So he says that my originator of my dynasty, what did he do? He has many wives, 27, right? 27 nakshatras. But what did he do? He had an affair with Tara, other's wife, and had a son from that. It's a big story, big fight actually, because of that. So that moon, what he did at that time is old story, forget about that. But he is still not stopping. Now he appears and he is putting red color on the face of Indra's wife, because every direction has got one Deva attached to it, and the Deva of east is Indra, Deva of west is Varuna, right? There are 8 directions, 8 Devas. So this is what the sloka is saying, that he appeared and then he is applying the color on the face of the eastern direction, Kakubha, Kashtha, Disha. So this is feminine gender, and she is wife of Indra. So this is what it says, that Krishnasya Swakula Adi Purusha. So he is the Adi Purusha of Krishna's dynasty. Means he is the first person of his dynasty. Sa Puratanopi, so he is old, and he is Dvijraja. He is considered as the best of the Dvijas. He is considered as a Brahmana. He is not a Kshatriya. So being a Brahmana, being old, being this, Ramanaharam Bahutar Swastrina Manapi, and he has got many wives who are young and beautiful, and he can enjoy with them. With all this, what is he doing? He is having an affair with somebody else's wife. So this is the standard he is setting for Krishna. So what can Krishna do is to follow his Adi Purusha. Right? Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. Right? Adi Purusha, I follow you. So he is Prachya Disha Indriya Bharyatvat. So she is the wife of Indra. Parastri means other's wife. And on his face with his own hand he is touching. So this is not very moral for a married person, senior person, Dvijraj, old man, Puratan, and then he is applying color on the face of a young girl. This is not acceptable. And Sprishan eva swayam tasyam anurakta. So he touches her first, and as soon as he touches her, immediately he falls in love. So this Rakta, Raga has double meaning, means love and it also means color. Because when you love somebody, you become colored by that. Right? Then you see everything through that color. Your eyes become colored, your heart becomes colored. So that is called Anurakta. So he says Tasyam Anurakta. So now he is Anurakta, means he is colored and he is now coloring her also. Means he fell in love and he is also making her full of love. That's why he is sending the reddish rays to her. So Tam api Anuragvati Karoti. So means he is colored and he is making her also colored. So color, Raga has both meaning, color and love. So he says that if this is the case with the moon, who is so old and Adi Purusha has wives, then what to speak of Krishna? Krishna has no wife. He is not old, he is young. So what can he do? So this is how his act is bona fide, is genuine, is authenticated. Because moon is an authority. So he is doing it means he cannot speak to him directly, but he is showing by example. What is the saying? That example is better than precept? Right? Instead of lecturing, he is showing that look, this is what you should do. So this is the best praman. Right? The Jyesht and Shrestha praman is Prataksha or Shabda? Prataksha, right? So he is doing it, setting standard, telling to Krishna. So he says, what are you doing? Make your youth successful. I am old man, still I am full of love. You are a young man. So therefore he says, Yadi tada Krishnasya tad vanshyasya navina vayaso. Therefore if Krishna, who is the descendant of this moon, who is young, who is not a Brahmana, who is not a Dvija, etc., anything like that, means Brahmanas are more strict, more moral, more dharmic, right? Because they are educated, they are learned, they are more austere, tapa, shamadama, all these qualities of the Brahmana. Astikya, Brahma Karma Svabhavjan, right? So he is not that, he is not even a Kshatriya, he is a Gopajati. So he has more license, because higher you are, the more strict you have to follow. So Brahmanas have to be more strict than Kshatriyas, and Kshatriyas more strict than Vaishyas, Vaishyas more strict than Sudras. Sudras can do so many things, not Brahmanas. So therefore Gop Jater and Alabdha Vivahatvat. Moon is married, right? He's got 27 wives. wives, Dakshas. Krishna does not have even one. So therefore he is more qualified. So sviya stri rahitasya cha swasaundaryena, and then he is beautiful also. Moon is beautiful but has got some spots, right? But Krishna Chandra is no spots, he is only beauty. So therefore he is more qualified for what moon is doing. So Manushi Jatir Anandayato. So he gave happiness to human beings. Right? That's what the sloka said. Charshni Nam Udgat Shrucho Mrijan. Right? That he dispelled the distress of human beings. So Krishna should also dispel the distress of one part of human beings, the gopis, who are also in distress, in separation. That is also type of heat. One is the physical heat from the sun, other is the heat of separation. So these gopis are also suffering. So moon is saying, please remove their suffering like this. So that is the implied sense of this sloka. So therefore it says, Gopa Stri Ramane Ka Khalu Doshai. So therefore what is the fault if Krishna dances with these Gopa women? Means there is nothing wrong. It's approved. Okay. So then what did he do after seeing this whole thing when moon appeared? This was just a description that moon appeared like that. Then Krishna sees the moon and he understands, because he is intelligent. It is said that for intelligent people just a little hint is enough. You don't need a big lecture for them. So moon gave a hint to him. So he acts on that. Drishtva kumudvantam makhandamandalam ramnanabham navakunkumarunam vanam cha tatkomalagobhiranjitam jagaukalam vamadrisham manoharam. So after seeing the moon, who is called here as Kumudvanta, means when the moon appeared, then the Kumuda, the lilies, they bloomed. Because the lilies, they bloom when the moon appears and the lotus is closed. And the lotuses bloom when sun appears. So Kumudvantam, Akhanda Mandalam. And the moon is Akhanda Mandal. Mandala means the orb, means it is not broken, means it is full. So he saw the full moon and saw the blooming night lotuses or these lilies. And Ramana Nabham. How did the moon appear? Moon appeared as if he had the hue like the hue of the face of Rama. Ramanan Abham, which is Navakunkum Arunam, just like reddish, the color of the kumkum. Because moon and Rama, they are brother and sister. When moon ocean was churned, then Lakshmi came out from that, and moon also came out from there. So because they are brother and sister, therefore they have resemblance in their face. So therefore it is said Ramananabha, similar looking. So Rama's face is also reddish golden, Arunka, and her face is also like his face. And then he saw the forest. So now by seeing, he is already in the forest, means he left home, came to this place, which is now known as Rasa only. So vanam cha tat komal gobhiranjitam. So he saw the forest, so drishtva and vanam cha. And how was the forest? Forest was also colored by the soft rays of the moon. So the beautiful rays of the moon, they were spread all around, and everything looked so wonderful and beautiful. So it was not dark and it was not daytime. So everything was komal, soft, gobhiranjitam. So then what did Krishna do? So he played on his flute. Jagau kalam vamadrisham manoharam. So he played flute. So that sound is called kalam here. Kalam means asfutavani. Kalam means it is inarticulate sound. The inarticulate sound has one quality, that it can be understood in many different ways, right? Sometimes you see some birds making sound and it looks like as if they are saying something. I remember in our childhood there used to be one bird and he makes a sound, and we used to say, oh, he's saying Bhagavan teri kudrat, Bhagavan teri kudrat. And then somebody will say, no, he's saying noon tel adrak, noon tel adrak. So Bhagavan teri kudrat means that, oh Lord, your creation, oh Lord, your creation. He sounds like that. If you hear from the far away, it sounds as if he's saying like that. But then you can say, well, no, he's materialistic people say, no, he's saying salt, cooking oil and ginger. So you can interpret it so many ways. So similarly, Krishna plays his flute and it is inarticulate sound. So it means that every gopi who was in love with Krishna heard the sound and thought that he is calling me. And the others, the elderly gopis and gopas, they didn't make anything out of it because it was not for them. So therefore it called all the gopis who were Krishna's beloveds. So for them it sounded as a call by the lover. So that's why it is called here as Vamadrisham Manoharam. So Manoharam means enchanting, captivating, attractive. So, but only for those who are called here as Vamadrisham. So Vamadrisham means those who have left eyes. So Vama is also a word used, you know that in Sanskrit for a woman there are hundreds of words, practically speaking. There is a word for woman for every limb of women. Whether it is nose, sunasa, or lips, or teeth, or sudanti, or for everything, the eyes, so many, sunena, sulochana, dirgnena, all kinds of, so many, sumadhyama, nitambani, right, for how the woman walks and how she looks. So Vamadrisha is like that. Drisha means eyes or looks, and Vama means beautiful also. Vama also means left.
Crooked?
So,
Crooked?
Nah, sometimes not straight. Dakshina means straight, Dakshina means right. So Vamadrisham means those who were bent out of love or whose eyes were looking for love, so their minds were captivated by this sound, Manoharam. That is the meaning. So this is how he played the flute. So tatascha, so commentary by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti ji. Tad darshanena udbhuta kandarpa vikaro. So by seeing the moon, Krishna's love was excited. Kandarpa here is love. He is the god of love, but not the material love. So says that Kandarpa Vikaro. Why is that? He says Yadad Acharti Shrestha Tattade Vitaro Jana Sayat Pramanam Kurta Lokas Tadanu Vartate. Krishna himself has said it. So if he is saying, he has to also follow it or not? Right? Otherwise he will be a hypocrite, that he only talks, doesn't follow. So he says, look, I am going to say this sloka to Arjuna, so I have to practice it before. That whatever great people do, others follow. So our great people is moon. So look what moon is doing. So I have to follow that. So this is the standard. Sayat pramanam kurute. Whatever praman he is doing means he is setting the standard. He is giving the knowledge. Pramana also means means of knowledge. Right? Authentic knowledge comes from pramana. So means whatever he teaches by his example, then others follow that. So it is smritva, so remembering this, as if he has already spoken Bhagavad Gita. He says, oh, I said it, so I should do it. So it is smritva, swakul adi purushasya tasya dharmam swasmin abhi pashyan. So he says that the dharma, the character, the quality which the Adi Purusha of my dynasty has, that is also in me. Right? The genes carry the characteristics. That's why pedigree is very important. Right? Especially for the dogs, horses, they are very careful with the pedigree to protect. So saying that I have the genes of the moon, so therefore I am carrying his dharma, his qualities. Dharma here means quality. Right? As in the Nyaya they say, yo yasmin vartate satasya dharma. What is existing in another, that is called its dharma. So what is found in moon, that quality, that is what is called dharma. Dhriyata iti dharma. That which is held is dharma, that which holds is dharma. Dharati iti dharma, dhriyata iti dharma, both ways. It's called dharma. So dharma swasmin api pashyan. So he says, well, this quality, I see it is in me also. I am also getting this desire. So that's why family lineage is very important. That's why Arjuna was very much worried about Varnasankar, Jayate Varnasankar. Strisu Dushtasu Varshne Jayate Varnasankar. And Sankaro Narkayev. So that is the degradation. And all this mixing happens, all the genes get mixed. Like now they are mixing grains, modifying their genes, genetically modified. Right? It's all Sankar. This is called grain Sankar, vegetable Sankar, food Sankar, dress Sankar, not only human being Sankar. Everything is Sankar. So previously everything was Samskar, now everything is Sankar. So both come from the same root and same prefix. Sankara is also made with some prefix and kri dhatu, and samskar is also made with kri dhatu and some prefix, but the meanings are so different. So samskar is desirable, samskar, samskriti, and sankara is not desirable. So he says, I'm having the samskara coming in my genes because I'm not a sankara. So nishankam eva parastri ranetum kamapi amogham yatnam akarot. So therefore, without any hesitation, when he saw the moon like this, if there was any hesitation in his mind, it disappeared. Because if you have a doubt whether you should do something or not do something, and then you say, oh, he did it, my Guru Maharaj did it like this, or that sadhu did it, right? So when we were in ISKCON, they will say that don't drink Coca-Cola, but Pepsi you can drink. No, 7-Up. 7-Up was allowed, but Pepsi, Coca-Cola, no. Because Prabhupada drank once 7-Up. Once, maybe just to taste what it is he drank in a flight. That became pramana. Yad yad acharti shrestha. So happily the devotees will drink 7-Up. So this is why he is saying that nishankam eva. Sometimes when you want to do something and you know that this is wrong, then you search for somebody else, some example, some satovritte, right? So, sadhu vartmananuvartana, following the path of the sadhus. So nishankam eva parastri anutam. He says there is no harm in calling the wives of others here. So therefore, kamapi amogham yatnam akarot. So he endeavored and he make an effort. Effort can have two results. That it can be successful, it can be a failure. But Krishna does not make effort which can fail. So therefore it says amogham yatnam karot, means unfailing effort, that it is bound to bring success. Although he says sukhe dukhe samay kritva labha labho jaya jayo in Bhagavad Gita, but he himself is always successful. So therefore he says kamapi amogham yatnam akarot. So he made a very successful endeavor, and that is he played on the flute. So this flute is that kastriyangate kalpadayat, right? You sing that. Who is that woman who, after hearing the sound of your flute, na chale tarya dharma, that she will not leave her moral principles. So that is the meaning of amogh, means irresistible. Krishna's flute is irresistible. No one can resist it. It is maddening to everybody. It's the power of it. So this is what we read in that commentary, Visvarshanam. Where is Sandeep? Homework I gave him. So,
Yes, Babaji.
so what is the answer? You said that people get killed by taking poison.
So some poisons are like killing, but some poisons are intoxicating also.
Nah, you are just repeating the same thing. Sometimes if you are bitten by a snake, then poison is the antidote.
Poison kills poison.
Poison kills poison, right? So that's what Krishna did, because the gopis were already poisoned,
That's it.
right? By the snake of Krishna. Black snake, right? So now he is giving them the antidote of that poison. So Jagau Kalam Vam and Risham Manoharam. This is the rain of poison. This will cure the disease. When the poison goes into body, it burns, right? Your whole body burns. Even if a mosquito bites, that's a small poison. It burns therein. Snake bites, burns, and your whole body feel pain. So all these gopis, they are suffering from this poison of separation. So then now that's why he's playing the flute. That's why he said that removing the tapa in that sloka. You read that? Mrijan chucha, removing their distress. So Krishna is also going to remove the distress. So there are different ways of removing distress for different people. If somebody is bitten by a snake, then you have to give poison to that person to remove the effect. So poison will remove the poison. So this is the amogha yatna. Kamapi amogham yatnam akarod ityaha drishtva. So that is what is being described here in this sloka. So kumud, kumuda, kumudam. So the sloka says drishtva kumudvantam. So here the word is kumud and not kumuda. So actually the word is kumuda, akaranta, but here it is takaranta, which becomes dakaranta. Vishnu Dasa, Vishnu Padanta, Harivasa, Harigada. So Kumudvantam. So he says that well, Kumudayapi Kumut Proktam is the Vishwa. So according to Vishwakosha, the word Kumuda is also used as Kumut. So therefore no problem here. Tad vikasniyattvena vartate yasya tam. So kumudvanta here means that which makes these kumudas bloom. So kumuda, he gives a meaning koho prithivyapi mutkartavyattvena vartate yasya tam atmanam cha drishtva iti api vyakhyana. So kumuda is a flower. Kumuda also has a meaning. Ku means earth. Muda means happiness. Mut harsa pramod. Amarko says mut means happiness. Muda with happiness. So takaranta. So there it is taken as takaranta. So that which is the pleasure of earth. So pleasure of earth is also moon, because moon sheds the nectarian rays on earth and everything blooms. All the taste in fruits and flowers comes because of the moon rays. And that also signifies that Krishna is also the pleasure of the earth, because when he was here then everything was blooming, prospering. Jayate adhikam janmana braja Shrayate Indira Shashwadatrahi. So Indira means opulence. All the opulence became manifest here by Krishna's appearance. So that also is the meaning of Kumudavanta. So therefore he says that Koho prithivya api mut kartavyattvena vartate yasya tam atmanam chandrishta. So seeing the moon who brings pleasure to the earth, and also seeing himself, because he is also like that. Iti api vyakhyam. Vishesha vishesya visheshana anukte na khandam mandalam bimbam sarupam yasya tam purnamiti. So here the visheshya, the substantive, is not mentioned, means the qualified object moon is not mentioned. Only the qualifiers are mentioned, Kumundvantam and Akhanda Mandalam. So from that we have to understand that it is talking about the moon, that he saw the moon. So sometimes just by the qualifiers you understand the qualified. So there is no problem with that. So Akhanda Mandalam means that it was full moon, means complete. Nakhandam Mandalam means his mandala, his orb was not incomplete, but complete one. So we'll stop here because this is a little long commentary. You cannot complete it today. Any questions on this? Raghava?
Obeisance Pandit. This last point thing, the attraction for the opposite sex and all this, it seems to be a big problem. But why Chandra, being such an exalted being, the service he renders, that why he is like that with woman, or why it has to be lost?
Well, just a Sahitic way of explaining some astrological facts.
Because it said that Brihaspati.
Yeah, I'm telling you that this is just some astrological facts explained in the form of stories. That's what it means. Because moon, Buddha is Mercury planet, Brihaspati is Jupiter, Tara, the wife, also means the stars. So moon is the Tarapati, he is the master of the stars, not Jupiter. So these stories have other meanings behind them.
But it is said that Jupiter is neutral to Mercury, but Mercury has a grudge against his father and is inimical to Jupiter. Mercury inimical to Jupiter, being the ruler of thinking, very intelligent Buddha, and Moon being the ruler of emotions. It is said that there is an inherent contradiction of the term emotional intelligence, that you cannot have, because intelligence is Mercury and emotion is Moon, and there are enemies. Or you think or feel. You cannot feel and think at the same time. This is do you agree with that?
So yeah, that's why you see that there is a problem in the story. That's why the story is like that. So these stories are seen at different levels. For common man, they are also seen as some lust manifesting. Even in great people can fall prey to lust. So be careful. So that is also the moral of the story. All the stories are not only teaching you what you should do, they also teach you what you should not do. So sometimes they tell, just like Yudhishthira Maharaj played gambling. So he's Dharmaraj, then you say, why he did this? Why he should not have done it? So he did it so that you don't do it. Because he went through so much trouble.
Yes.
But now you have your, what is that place in America, gambling place? Las Vegas. So Las Vegas people didn't take any lesson from Yudhishthira Maharaj.
And the emotions and thinking that cannot be emotional intelligence there, because they are enemies, the Moon and Mercury.
Yes.
Or thinking or feeling. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. Why I cannot agree with that? I completely agree with that.
There cannot be emotional intelligence then. Or you think or feel? Okay, take a Pandit. Don't take emotional
It's
intelligence.
either emotional or intelligence, not emotional intelligence. That's an oxymoron. Cannot be emotional and be intelligent simultaneously. That's why in the, that book I told in another class, there is a book called Prem Pattanam. It's written by the son of Gadadhar Bhatta. So there he describes that in this Prem Pattanam there is a king, the Mochaka, and he has two wives. One is Rati, other is Mati. So Rati signifies emotion, love, and Mati signifies intelligence. So they had a fight and then Mati left. And then Rati remains. But because between emotion and intelligence, who wins?
Emotion.
Right? That's the whole problem in this world.
Oh my God.
In the spiritual world, it's fine. But in the material world, buddhya yukta ya partha karma bandham prahasyati. Krishna says only if you are functioning with your buddhi, then you can get over karma. Otherwise, you remain emotionally bound because of your karma. Buddhi buddhimatam asmi. I am the buddhi, I am the wise, I am the wisdom of the wise. Esha buddhimatam buddhi. Speaks so much. Buddhau sharanam anvichya kripanaha phal hetava. Says take shelter of buddhi. Those who are kripanas. Kripana means miserable people. Miserable people, not only misers but miserables. They run after the phala. So he said,
After the result.
yeah. Okay, Malati.
Thank you, Padre.
By speaking in this Sahijic way, there's a very explicit parallel being drawn between the immoral behavior of Krishna's ancestor, the moon, and what Krishna is doing with the gopis. So, but at the same time, Shukadeva Goswami is chastising Parikshit when he thinks that there could be some kind of immoral behavior involved, and he tries to make it very clear that Krishna's dealings with the gopis is completely beyond, completely pure, transcendental, aprakita. So why then are such explicit references being made?
So therefore, just first of all, remember those two words of the first sloka, Bhagavanapi and Yoga Maya Upashritam. So this is to show that although it is being described here, because what is the point? This is Ras Shastra. This is not just that is dry philosophy. So some rasa has to be brought into it or not.
Yeah.
So that is what is being brought into here now. But at that same time you have to understand that Krishna is not immoral. That's what Parikshit wants to make it clear. Parikshit had no doubt, but just other people may have this. So then he asked this question that don't doubt it like that. But now just to
that's important
just to make it more
to have a proper understanding.
Yeah, just to make it interesting. Then you're saying moon did this and he did like that and Krishna is doing like this.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, anything else?